Quest presents an unabridged recording of Distrust That Particular Flavor by William Gibson, narrated by Jeff Harding. Introduction. African Thumb Piano. When I started to try to learn to write fiction, I knew that I had no idea how to write fiction. This was actually a plus, that I knew I didn't know. But at the time, it was scary. I was afraid that people who were somehow destined to write fiction came to the task already knowing how. I clearly didn't, so likely I wasn't so destined. I sat at the typewriter, the one on which I'd written undergraduate essays, trying to figure out how to try. Eventually, I began to try to write a sentence. I tried to write it for months. It grew longer. Eventually, it became, seated each afternoon in the darkened screening room, Graham came gradually to see the targeted numerals of the Academy leader as hypnagogic sigils preceding the dream state of film. I'm not sure it was Graham, maybe it was Bannister. It was a sentence far too obviously in the manner of J.G. Ballard, and Ballard gave his protagonists sturdy, everyman British middle-class surnames. I had no idea what my sentence meant in terms of where any narrative might go, but I now know that that was not a bad thing. I was in the first place of fiction, as was my protagonist. A door was opening, however slightly. I began to imagine that the deserted, recently deserted, office building in which Graham Bannister reviewed film had a fountain in its atrium, and in this fountain, submerged, along with the usual coins, were dozens of wristwatches, some of them very expensive. Time had ended, perhaps, or the awareness of its passage had become somehow undesirable. And that was as far as I went. The door closing, I may have sensed, correctly, that a Ballard pastiche, no matter how earnest, was somehow not the thing. Later attempts sometimes involved outer space, though outer space more in the manner I hoped of Alfred Bester or Samuel R. Delany. I don't remember them. My wife parodied them all, not unkindly, as his long green ears quivering Fimo slipped from the rig. Today, this reminds me that I was having trouble with character names. At one point, I seriously considered borrowing them from products in the IKEA category.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?